Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I would like to sort of address the current discussion and debate on period leaves. Recently, there's been a lot of discussion and debate on the topic of whether we should be making menstrual leaves mandatory in organization. And I feel that it is important to discuss both pros and cons of the topic so that you can take home some of the understanding of what this means and what kind of impact it may have on the world. First of all, it is very important to understand and debunk some of the misconceptions here. I do understand that in smaller organizations, making period leave mandatory would significantly bring down the number of days annually that a woman contributes in the workforce. And if the organization is consisting of a very small team, then these leaves can perhaps lead to a lot of problems in sort of working through and making adjustments for the team, and as well as creating certain internal issues with regards to the work management and the workflow. So I understand that there can be some disturbance in the workflow because of this, which is why a lot of people are very skeptical. The second point that I'm hearing a lot is that this would misrepresent the cause of feminism, and there are discussions about how by providing this privilege, women would sort of abuse this power to their advantage, and it will not just cost the organization but also the global support that women deserve. Well, I would like to address all of this. First of all, it is very important to understand the significance of period leave. Leave in the context of menstruation can mean a lot of things. Our understanding of menstruation is limited to, the bleeding that a woman experiences, and there are some very direct logistic problems that a woman may face in certain organizations with regards to the availability and the hygiene and, the mere inconvenience of having to perhaps, change their hygiene products, which becomes far more easier when they are at home. And as a woman, I think it's very important for me to highlight that menstruation is exceptionally more complicated and stressful around monsoon. As someone who's been born and brought up in Mumbai, I understand that we face a lot of rains during monsoon, and during those times traveling while being semi-wet has been something that has been a stress for me as well. Other than that, we also need to understand that the definition of menstruation is much more than just bleeding and the inconvenience of traveling. Women also face a lot of pain. They also face a lot of emotional challenges, and some of them also face a lot of hormonal changes which can really affect their productivity. So if you are forcing a person to sort of come to the office and work to their optimum level, well, that does not happen at all times. I would not say that all period cycles lead to perhaps the same kind of issues, but some of them do, and it really helps to have an option of not working. I understand some of the skepticism about how this power can be abused. Well, first of all, we need to understand that it's not a privilege. If we want to sort of create a more inclusive community, then we need to be able to be more respectful and emphasize on all the things that we can do to sort of take care of the marginalized and the minority population. And if that demands providing with extra lenience for women on times when things are really complicated, I don't think there is a problem in sort of facilitating this. There are a lot of discussions on how menstruation is a natural process. Well, so is childbirth, and women globally get maternity leave. In India, we don't really get paternity leave, unfortunately, but with regards to maternity leave, one of the reasons for the same is also that a woman's body needs to heal. Well, menstruation is also a natural process. About the debate of how it can be treated with medication, now there are multiple factors to it. Medication can perhaps deal with some aspects of it, but not all of it. Plus, Yes, this depends on the kind of problems individuals are experiencing. This special acknowledgement of menstruation and how that can create a lot of inconvenience in the life of the woman employees, and this acknowledgement would really empower a lot of people to not hide away their problems and have no explanation for their compromised quality. If women are able to come forward and discuss the challenges that they face and are openly able to sort of express their own limitations, I think it's really going to benefit the cause of the community more than limiting or abusing it. We've always had these kind of debates whenever there are some additional changes that are made for the specific communities in our country, and unfortunately those debates will never end. But that being said, we cannot ignore some of the active problems that these individuals face, and how this is an exceptional step up for the country to be able to be more inclusive in our practice. If by having active debates on mandatory leaves for menstruation can really spark this conversation, I am glad about it. I hope you find this discussion to be useful. Thank you.